when I accepted to be the ambassador of this year, 2008, I have very high expectations. Meaning, it's not for my CV. It's not bad at all. I'm going to put the year ambassador of intercultural dialogues. But I think that we can do a lot of things on the subject. And this integration, you have a lot of immigration with different cultures. You have a lot of people who are excluded from society, but they're still here. So probably we should work on this. I think that this is irrelevant, whether we live in a secular Europe or a spiritual Europe. I don't judge people by their spiritual standards, because I saw so many people who believe in God and they became fundamentalists. And I saw so many people who does not believe in anything and then do a lot of good for humankind. So we should not judge people based on their beliefs. We should judge people based on their deeds. I think it is very important, well, today to enhance the importance of culture, because culture is somehow the only bridge left intact. We see political bridges collapsing, economical, etc., but we still can understand each other through culture. It is not a dream. I think that we already have this connection. I'm convinced that, and you see my books, for example, you see that people read, and that people see dancing, and that people can understand each other. So I think I'm convinced that culture, or this dialogue through culture, it is not only possible, but it is happening now. In fact, when I write to myself. And I try to understand myself better. And then I see success in Japan or Norway or Brazil or Africa. So what do we have in common? I don't know, but I know that we have some values in common. And that stimulates me to continue writing. When I write my books, I'm not thinking about positive or negative effects. I'm thinking about who am I? So every time that I write a new book, I have to discover that side of mine that it was in the darkness. So sometimes the negative side, sometimes the positive side, but at least you can see my soul and my love there. I think that you have to take risks all the time. If you don't do that, you don't move forward. We are trying to be too conservative in the way that you think life. And the result is that nobody voices out to say, I don't agree with this, I agree with that. So we have to push somehow our individuality to make sure that our voice can be heard. Sometimes you have to also to balance this idea of tolerance, because if you say yes, yes, yes to everything, the world does not change. If you say no, 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 the world does not change either. So you have to balance somehow your moment to say no and your moment to say yes. And then you have to understand your neighbor. But to understand your neighbor, well, the only way that you have today is culture.